Boom. Yeah, we should be
There we
live.
go.
It says live. Greetings, guys. A pleasure, an honor. Ah, I never felt so much better to talk about, the reality. That's more what we focus on these days than nonsense. I have enough of the nonsense, so I want to focus on stuff that can permit me to evolve, like knowing more about all kinds of stuff. Like not so much knowing deeply because it's more an intuition. It's more like something you feel. It's like the truth. You feel it. You know it when you feel it.
Hmm.
So it's more about feeling. And there's all kinds of stuff in this world that really intrigues me a lot. And it's a very colorful world. Like there's colors all over, and colors carry frequency, especially we left last time we did our talk. We were talking about the blood being red, but you said no, it's blue, and it's true because once you look at your hand or whatever parts of your body, you will realize that it's blue, but then it comes out red, and those two colors, blue and red, are kind of massive. I think if it's not the two most important colors in our environment because it's on everything. It's on the police car. It's on your water tap. It's on everything. It's on flags a lot. Uh, Santos talks a lot about red shift, blue shift.
Yep.
There's apparently an octopus or some kind of creature in the ocean that has blue, a crab, a snow crab or something, has blue blood, literally
Mm-hmm.
blue blood coming out. So then
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, what else? And the blood types also, it's something else I want to talk about because there's so much different blood types, but the rarest one apparently is Rh negative, and that relates to copper, I think. Now I want Nick to extrapolate on this because he probably knows a lot more than me. I'm just bringing the topic on, but or you, Crystal. But yes, the colors, the red and blue, especially. What can you? And not only red and blue, all the colors, like the rainbow colors, are very significant too. And it's stuff we can observe in nature. It's not man-made the colors we're talking about here. I want to talk about real stuff that we find in nature, and we find pretty much all the colors in nature. Like on flowers, there's all kinds of varieties of cut, like it's super colorful. So tell us a bit more about colors frequency and what it carries and what good it can do for us too. And without knowing, I put a red shirt and a blue hat, but it wasn't planned. It
And
wasn't
we're
planned.
wearing
I
blue
just
too.
it came to me after when I saw myself on the screen. I'm like, yeah, I was talking about that last time we left, the blue and the red and the blood. And so
Yeah,
maybe you
well,
can tell us a bit more about what's your perspective on all this colorful world we live in.
yeah. Well, they'll say that the blue, how the veins appear blue, is a light refraction or something.
Hmm.
I don't quite understand nor really believe it because I do believe that it's actually blue and that's not an illusion, although it could be. And if that's true, I will accept that, and work with that. But I really do think it's blue in there. And then once it hits oxygen, the iron in it oxidizes. Because you can say you can pull your blood through a syringe where there's no oxygen in there too. And that's a pretty good argument. And it's red still, right, in the syringe. It's an okay argument, but there's still, I think, going to be some air in the needle. But would that be enough to turn it, oxidize all that iron red just like that? I don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, but blue is the color of benevolence. Um, because B and V are interchangeable, and blue has to do with Venus. And wow, I could go a lot into the color things. Well, red and blue.
Our sky appears blue too.
The sky's
Yeah.
blue, and and it's all this polarity, and the ground is red, and it's blue and red, and in the middle, if you mix the two, is green, and it's red, green, blue, and that's the spectrum we see on. Is RBG, red, blue, green, And it's interesting because, of course, the sky's blue, ground's red, there's green in the middle.
Yeah, because yellow and blue create the green. Because the yellow solar plexus chakra and then the blue throat chakra. If you put yellow and green together, or yellow and blue together, I think that's what creates the green. Because if you put yellow and, or excuse me, red and blue together, it creates purple.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
just to clarify that.
Yeah, thanks.
But I'm not sure about the what creates green. I think it's the red and yellow. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah, and then it's interesting how you can associate all the colors with the chakras with the planets. So the root chakra would be red, and it's the moon. The sacral chakra would be orange, and that would be Mercury. And it has to do with the Buddhists, because the chant for the sacral chakra to the planet Mercury is Om Buddhaya Namahe. Well, that means orange, or has an association with the Buddhists, orange and Mercury. And the next one up will be Venus, and that'll be yellow. And the chant for that is Om. I forgot, but that doesn't matter. And then the next color is green, the heart chakra, and that's for the sun, because the sun creates, it interacts closely with chlorophyll, and it makes the planets green. You know, there's some connection there. And then the next one is blue, and that's why I wear blue right here.
Yeah.
It's kind of green, but
yeah.
aquamarine would be a really good necklace.
Yeah, that's what this
It
is.
really just makes the throat work. Yep, because it's the blue. The throat chakra is blue, so wear a blue crystal. And this would be blue, and this would be Mars. This is where you, you know, kind of project your voice. Yeah, it's Mars.
Creation. I feel like your voice can create things.
Mm-hmm. There's something to that. And then this color in the rainbow, the next one here is indigo, and that is Jupiter. And that's the pineal gland, of course. Jupiter, if anyone has looked briefly at astrology, Jupiter has to do with visions. So, of course, it's the pineal gland, which is your visionary gland. And then the top one is Saturn. And then that is the color purple. And yeah, that would be purple. And yeah, any comments on that?
Yeah. I have a whole bunch. I'm working 1,000 miles an hour in there. You said Jupiter has to do with vision. Okay, what I see there is exactly we get paid on Thursday. Most people get their pay on Thursday. Thursday is Jupiter Day. It's jeudi en français. So is that all they want us to see is money? Is that a way to manipulate us so that all we see in that jeudi, Jupiter Day, or Jupiter force is all you see is money?
I think that's just the rhythm of the syncopated, harmonized universe. It all fits into it. And then as you said that, I just kind of fully realized, if this is the Jupiter chakra right here, because you got blue and then you get purple, the Jupiter one, it's right there where your eyes are, where you see, and Jupiter's vision, because it's the greatest benefic. You can see everything.
Yes, its mineral cell salt is silica, which is really, if you're silica deficient, your vision could be bad.
Mm-hmm. Silicate crystals work in the pineal gland, but probably in the eyes too, because they refract light. It's like a quartz crystal. And if you smash a quartz crystal, it emits light.
Yeah. No, it's powerful. You said it's blue above, it's red below, and it's green in the middle. But the red below, what I thought of, is often they refer as L being red. Like Mars, red, wars, and the god of wars or all kinds of stuff. And you just take the M, you reverse it, and it's wars. Now, everything's inverted. That's maybe why they did it this way. And I'm not saying it's evil, the stuff up there. It's not what I'm saying. But they turn it, they invert everything. But what I'm saying is, could that be that exactly they want us to think or believe that the red has to do with hell and the blue with heavens? Because you see the blue up there and everybody says, oh, I'm going to go in heaven, and it's up there when it's probably just in your head.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you brought that up because that's what I was actually going to bring up too. How all those chakras can be reversed, but the sun and green and the heart always stay in the middle because heart means core, and the sun's the center of the universe,
Corazon.
which means the center or your heart. And so they all flip around that, and then the sun is the center energy of this realm, because Leos, their way of confirming this is just interesting. Leos, their planet is the sun, and they always say they think everyone thinks that Leos think everything revolves around them. It's like all about them.
Unevolved
Because
Leos.
yeah, but it's because the solar energy that they inherited from being a Leo and the sun as their ruler, it is the center. It's always the center chakra. But anyways, you can flip all those chakras down. So at the bottom, Saturn, Satan in its lower form. Satan in its higher form is the crown chakra, mountain, Tibet, where you meditate, peace, silence, connection to source, this purple, etherical
Mastery.
magnetism, booming way up there to the collective. That can be Saturn in its good form, mastery and silence. But it can flip because there's a duality of everything in this polar reality. So that Saturn can be at the bottom,
which is Satan,
and that can be
Polar reality. No pun intended here. Polarity. Maybe that's why it's called like that.
Yeah.
Because polarity.
Yeah, I know, right?
And they call it polar, the South Pole, the North Pole has to do with polar bear. Like when the polar bear comes and doing polarity, and like all this is the way they name things intrigues me a lot.
Yeah.
It's all the names are energetically matched with, the equivalent of the entity it's referring to. It's really interesting. Everything's really organized in this realm. It's just we're in the most confusing time in history.
So we're just remembering it all, trying to fit the puzzle pieces back together.
That's why we're here, and no one will do it but ourselves to put back, first of all, our own puzzle together. And you got to pick yourself up and put yourself back together. That's the first thing. Then you can try to put the world together if you have a good intent or divine intent. Probably the world will be receptive also to your intent, because there's only but now if we talk about exactly polarity, you were mentioning that we talk right away about good and bad, evil and God or divine, call it the way you want. So does that really even exist? Because if all other polarities are reality, if does God and evil or divine and Satan or all that stuff, even, like, I know there's divinity, but there's maybe the single stuff on this earth. What I say often is I only see good around, like, except the people that think they are good and they do bad with themselves, but they still think they're doing good. So, but what I'm saying is exactly, does those forces really exist, or we make this up in our head? Because I only see a very divine realm around me. Like there's no hell around me. Like I can't, and I cannot see it. I cannot see where it would be. So that's my point.
Yeah, I personally think that they both do exist, like the positive and negative. You can't have, just that whole thing. However, depending upon what you focus on personally as your own human is what you will experience and what you will see.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
creates your reality, what you talk
Yeah.
about, what you, of course, if you say you live in the hell, you're in the hell. Or, and the other day I was washing my glasses and I'm like, fuck, it's so dirty. It's freaking hell, those goggles. But then I'm like, why do I say that? Because that's what it is. When you have no clarity, it's freaking hell.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, even that is still talking to me, my glasses. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
of course. If you have foggy brain, if you have no clarity, your life here will be freaking hell. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's where it happened, is when you lack clarity, vision, and stuff. And you were referring to Jupiter as being the master visionary.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I had more interesting uh, ta- takes on that too. So where the root chakra was the moon, in one way of putting it, I would say the traditional and upright way of putting it, because the moon is like the seed, and it rules the womb and the woman. So it really is in the home. So it really is the roots in this realm is the moon, and you plant seeds by the moon, and you make babies by the moon too. I think they did, and you could, and you should. So the moon would be down there, but if you reverse it the opposite way, where Saturn's at the top, and put Saturn at the bottom,
Then the moon's at the top.
and then the moon's at the top, and then I think that makes your lunar up here, and it's the inverse way.
And it's mental.
Yeah, the moon's the mind,
mind,
the subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind's now running your crown chakra, and then you got Saturn on your roots. It's like an inverted, but the moon and Saturn are always opposite in the zodiac. So the moon rules Cancer, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and those two signs are opposite. So that's how they flip. And then if you go to the next chakra up below the moon or the root, which is the sacral, which was Mercury before and orange.
In the traditional way.
And if you reverse it with the second one down here, Jupiter, which visions belong where the eyes and pineal gland are, if you reverse that, which it can be, then you got Jupiter on the belly. So you got a big expansive belly. So this is an inverse thing. And then all your abundance is going to food and primal, because the lower three chakras are primal. So all that expansiveness is going to primal urges and food rather than visions and mind here. So that's one way of inverting it. And then Jupiter and Mercury, these two that can swap, third eye and sacral, they're also always opposite in the charts too. Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury, is exactly opposite Pisces, which is Jupiter.
Yep.
And Gemini, which is Mercury, is exactly opposite Sagittarius, which is Jupiter. So it's this natural polarity, Mercury, Jupiter, and then it can go with the chakras too if you flip them. And then same thing with the next one up, Venus, or the solar plexus, the yellow chakra, can be flipped with the third one down, can be flipped with the third one up. Mars, the throat. And Mars and Venus are the exact opposite. Boys, girls, copper, iron.
Aries, Libra.
Aries is opposite Libra.
Taurus, Scorpio.
Taurus is Venus, opposite Mars, Scorpio. So then you get where you can put Venus here.
And Taurus is the voice, the singer.
And it rules the throat.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would have Mars down here. So in that case, would its benevolence be inverted? I don't know. Maybe not.
When you say that, what comes to me, you say that all this can be inverted. So that's why some speak with lots of serenity and kindness and wisdom and everything, and others will just regurgitate verbal diarrhea. Like
Mhm.
that's literally what it is, because all they speak is freaking nonsense.
Yeah.
So they don't
Yes.
speak no sense at all. So that's where the chakras get inverted, or the all those celestial bodies within you, they play around, but it's up to you to align it, like the planet alignment. It's up to you to align properly also, if I'm not mistaken here. That's what I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Definitely.
don't
Yeah.
feel misaligned for sure. So no, I'm aligning with the divine purpose, with the mission, with the to wake up humanity. I know it's not possible. I'm dreaming here, but I'm waking myself up anyway in the process. So that's good.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
if others pick up the good vibe, good things will be accomplished. But what I'm saying is, if all these stuff can be inverted, it explains why some people are so far off the right path, and they end up on the left hand path, like Santos explained often, like he was extrapolating on that with me, the left hand path, and that's really true. Like I
Yeah.
think, but again, right hand, left hand, like
There's that. It's a polarity thing, and there's that inverted world where good is bad and bad is good. All the doctors and the pharmaceuticals are good, and your herbs and stuff are bad, and you could hurt yourselves and hurt everything that's good is good and bad is bad, or whatever. It's there's a total absolute inverted mindset,
Perspective. Yeah.
and it's opposite.
Mindset. Yeah.
and in its experience inside too, in the physical form. Now we're talking about physical form stuff. It's like I was saying to my wife the other day, mad, the word mad, you can be mad in a physical form, right? You can express madness. So love, you can be love too. That's why I always say be love, be love in the physical form. So
Mhm.
all this stuff that happens above all the like, they're probably are they confused up there too about their alignment? I'm pretty sure like, is there chaos up in the stars, just like there's chaos here within us? Like, is all that we experience is experienced above too? Like, are they struggling sometime to align? And it's why now it's happening, the alignment, because also we are getting, I can feel it. Okay. You feel it. I feel it. We're not the only one here on Earth waking up to the fact that we've been lied to on everything. We're not the
Yeah.
only ones. And we start taking steps towards evolution, towards shining light and stuff. I ain't going back in the dark. It's impossible. So that stuff happening within you is very, very powerful. And it's like it's very powerful for the other way too. Like when you're really in the dark, like I see what you're saying as really as being manifested physically. And no one can deny it. The proof's in the pudding. Look outside. They're all
Mhm.
confused. They're all, first of all, big lack of coherency with what it is to be a human being. Okay. So that lack of coherence also, we're perfect fractal, but not perfect coherence at all. I say often that's why we look up to tigers, lion, animals, because they're perfect fractal, perfect coherence, perfectly divine. Not you.
Mhm.
We're still, I'm talking people online, me, whatever. I involve everyone. We're still haven't reached a state of coherency that allows us also maybe to clear that stuff inside. So I think you have to align yourself with what you're supposed to be, a human being here, not a freaking muggle, no magic, and a human being in a real form can create all kinds of stuff just out of thoughts, out of, like, if you align yourself also with divine forces, with doing good, like clearing that confusion within you, you're in business, definitely, and you will be supported. So I think this whole thing that you referred to, that it gets all mixed up and everything, it's reality. It is, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely has something to do with the age of Pisces, and it's a mutable sign where it has to do with the dual nature. It's the two fish. One fish is saying pharmaceuticals are good. The other fish are saying it's bad.
Oh my god.
I don't know, but we're also crossing ages to the awakened age, where everyone's mind becomes incredibly awakened.
That's why we're feeling what we are feeling, and more people are, that like something big's coming. That's
Okay,
good.
could in this whole process of alignment, could some of us, um, some are going to be maybe irritated the wrong way, but that's what I feel. I feel like some of us are chosen for this great work because also they can access, I don't know, now we're talking creational science stuff behind me and you, and even overstanding anything in there, because we're talking about linking to a higher and divine and receiving messages and sending messages with your, so it's like I'm going far, but I think also they have a way to know who will respond in what way. They knew by striking me with a tragedy or something, I was going to come out stronger, because they, come on, they can probably tap into each and every one of us. If the divine is not within us, if it's within us, like we say always, hello, not hello, because I know hell is low. I don't need to be reminded. I'm out of hell. But yeah, I think there's a big correlation with the fact that you are chosen for this great work, and they can feel that you will respond accordingly. Am I going like too far here?
No,
No.
I completely agree. Personally, I knew from a young age I came here for a specific purpose. And that is shown, you can see that in astrological charts too. People who have what you call a yod, it's also known as the finger of God.
It's a
Come in,
shape.
yeah, it's like an aspect or a shape in the chart.
Hold on, you're
It-
telling me I have signs? Hold on, now it's big what you're saying. You're telling me I have signs on my body that I'm built for this great work?
I don't know about your chart because we haven't looked at it,
Which we
but
should do.
yeah, we should look at
Yeah,
yours.
next one, next show we'll do it. We'll bring up the chart.
Yeah. But in my particular chart, I have one. And I've just always known, like, some people don't know, like, oh, what am I going to do with my life? What am I supposed to do? I'm so lost. I mean, I've had those moments, obviously, everyone does. But in the end, and even in those moments, I know what I came here to do. But it's like, my question is how?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How to reach our full potential, our higher self and stuff.
Yeah.
Me, I always say, just do it. Just do it. Don't think about it, because you're gonna stop. The enemy is within. I don't think about coming here. I just freaking press live and I go. I don't think so much of it,
Mhm.
because the enemy within will be more potent, I think, until you really reach that alignment chakra and whatever is inside the oil going up my spine. I can name you all kinds of stuff, but just I feel more alive. That's what I feel like, more vibrant, more less in fear and stuff. So all this must have to do with something above. That's what I'm saying. Either they come and select you, or because it's not an election, it's a selection probably. So they select the. There is something happening to me, okay, to you, to each and every one of us that are on an evolution path, and we feel it freaking deeply. What I'm saying here is might be I go far all the time because that's what I like to do. But there is something happening and I can feel it. And I think I'm not the only one in that situation. Maybe my emotions are, really an outrovert. Me, I say everything. I'm not shy and stuff. So maybe it comes out this way, but there is something happening on Earth, definitely. Now,
Mhm.
the colors, I want to go back to the colors. Okay, Nick or Crystal, whoever wants to go on with that. But the street light, yellow, green, and red, and that's everywhere the same. You go in China, it's still the same. Everywhere on Earth, the street lights are the same. What is with the yellow, the green, and the red? The green, we know it's everywhere around. So there's something very powerful with green. They say eat your greens also, so you should eat greens. you go on the light when it's green. So you go green, go green. That's what it tells you, go green. But why?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Extrapolate on the green.
Yeah.
Green means go, and it's an anagram of energy. Green energy. It's the same word.
It's the heart. So it's like, go, follow your heart.
And the heart is fire, which is motivating.
Earth is green. Earth is an anagram for heart. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, green, go, heart, energy, and you get
So go in the heart. Yeah.
solar energy, and the sun is a fire planet, and fire is motivation, drive, movement, and the sun always, all the planets retrograde except the sun. The moon also does not retrograde, but the sun is fire, and it's always going. It's motivating.
It's always forward motion.
The Leo people are the most motivating people ever. Aries are also inspiring because the sun exalts in Aries, and it's a fire sign. It has Mars, force. But Leo people that will really motivate you and boss. They're the boss of the zodiac. Go do this now.
Yeah.
And they're the color green because they're ruled by the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Now, fire. You talk about fire. It's a good time to bring it up. When I sit in my backyard in the summer, sometimes I do it in the winter, a bit less, but summer I sit beside the fire. You can be mesmerized just looking at the flame. There's something very therapeutic at looking at the fire, and when the fire is going, we all stare at the fire. Like it can be so captivating your attention towards the flame. So what is with this element that we called fire? And it's alive too. It looks freaking alive. It makes noise. Like when it burns, it makes noise.
Well,
Again, light making noise, like we said the last time. So
in the Jewish Kabbalah, fire is the most highest element, the most, because heat rises. Your head's the hottest part in your body.
What did you say?
And that's where all the ahas and genius things come from, and the visions. And then you look at the pyramids too. There's pyramids all over, not just even Egypt, but just in Egypt, for instance. Well, pyramid comes from the word pyro, which means fire or to purify, and fire purifies things like no other.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got purge, pyro, purify, fire.
Yeah, I think that's why we're mesmerized by it, because it is purifying.
Mm-hmm. And then you look at the word spirituality, where pure is in pyro, and it's it's the best thing. It's the highest thing.
And then also too, because like going back to the whole sign of Leo, Leo's like that attention, and fire gets the attention. Leo is fire.
Mm-hmm.
So now, again, I'm going to bring that to a physical level. It's your fire inside that will purify you. The fire is the light. Like,
and then something to do with like exercising too, like it builds up the heat in your body. You get hot when you exercise, and it's purifying by exorcising the gross stuff out of you.
It's an exorcism.
Yeah.
Wow. Now we make sense why it's good exercising. It's going to activate that fire inside.
Yeah.
It's actually very spiritual exercise, because the sign Sagittarius is the muscular system, and Sagittarius is also the exorcist. They're the one that wards demons away. They're the preachers.
And exercise. So
Yep.
the more you exercise, the more you sweat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. And sweat.
Well, you evacuate the water, which has the dirty, stagnant memories or something in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And then also Sagittarius is a fire sign.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's ruled by Jupiter, which is the greatest benefic. It wards away all evil.
Now we're talking about fire, sustaining your fire inside. That's why we log in also. You put a log in our fire. So fire is of utmost important for you to rise also. Like if you want to rise, you better activate the heat inside. And it's not by staying, first of all, if you exercise, just that will create a mental state very favorable for you to move out the dark, like move up the couch and the TV and the stuff that keeps you down. So just exercising. And is it exercising or exorcising? Like you said,
It's the
it's
same thing.
inverted.
It's the same thing because vowels are interchangeable. And if you look at the two words, it's if I am remembering right, it's just the O is exchanged for the E. Exer or exo.
Okay, so what would that exer and exo? What's the, because the E is the fifth letter of the alphabet, 5 element. Ether is the E, so exercise has to do with probably ether, and exorcise, why the O in there?
Something holy and complete.
Or there's a hole. The hole is a hole.
A
Yeah.
whole portal.
Yeah.
Portal.
And then it's all about
Exorcising through portals.
like ascension and the heat. Yeah, I thought of that too. And then I'm thinking here, I'm getting all these visions of like how it's all working and stuff. And like the heat rises. This is my philosophy right now. All this heat is about rising, and it rises to your head, and the sun exalts in the head, and the sun is fire. And then hydrogen always rises. Hydrogen's the first element for Aries. Aries is the first sign. Aries is the head. Sun exalts in Aries. Mars rules, also fire. But then outside of you, the macrocosm, all this hydrogen rises up to the sun. It's all going up there, up to the sun, and then the sun is this ball of hydrogen fire, and it's this. I don't know. It's this.
And also,
Yeah.
you said the heat rise, but where does the sun hit the most on your body? It's your face. Half of the time, your body's covered. Like in the winter, I don't go out freaking no shirt on. In the summer, yeah, I'll never have a shirt on. You'll see me always on freaking naked outside, almost just a pair of short, and that's enough for me. But in the winter, the sun, or most of the time, and like if I go in public, I don't go around naked everywhere. But when I'm in my backyard, I have almost no clothes because I don't like it. I like just the feeling of the wind and the air and stuff. So you will find me very often no clothes. But I think it's the idea also of the summer and the winter. You cover yourself, but you still receive the fire in the face from the sun.
It's always hitting the face.
Mm-hmm.
Aries, hydrogen.
What's with the sun hitting the eyes too? Because I think it has something very powerful. Now I wouldn't recommend to look at the sun directly in, but is there some benefit to look at the sun when it's rise and when it's set, if it even does that? I don't think it even rise or set, it just go in this around and like it's
right when it's like
illusion.
closer to the horizon. Right, I get what you mean. Yeah.
But also that's another interesting thing. Why does the sun, that's very interesting because I observe that every day when I see the sun. Right above my head, it looks small. And the further it goes, the bigger it looks. It should be the opposite.
Right.
Yeah, because it's just this magical hydrogen mirror game. All hydrogen floats up there, and then it's just like this mirror fractal thing going on, and it appears as this. All these mirrors from this big old shiny thing are shining back, and it's creating this hydrogen torch, and then it kind of just goes around the mirror.
Now you bring mirrors in. You bring mirrors, and that's another interesting one. Because I did a test the other day, and I put a sheet of paper in front of my mirror and put my hand on it, and the mirror was seeing the hand on the other side. Now it could be the way I look at it, but even if you stand in front of it and you block the mirror from seeing what's on the mirror, it will still reflected. So now that's very fucked up because it's a portal. I don't think mirrors are what they say they are.
It's a
No. And then they used
Yeah.
to make them out of silver. And that's
Yeah.
like silver's the moon, and the moon is a portal. Like we've been told it's a portal. Like some people are under
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I figured out the putting the paper against the mirror thing. And it's like it's just the perspective of the reflection is making its way into those reflective molecules to your eye this way. And then if light gets in there, it'll shed light on that reflection. But it's a very peculiar thing. I still haven't really figured it out, but it puzzled me at first. But then I kind of went, oh.
Yeah. It depends
But I
the
can't.
perspective you look at. Probably I did the test too. I'm like, I told my son, I said, it's just perspective. But now I'm starting to look at it and put bigger things, and still shows on the other side. Like it's mesmerizing. That's what I'm saying. It's like the sun appearing bigger on the horizon when it goes away, but it should be smaller. So now I'm mesmerized. I'm all confused, more mixed up here in what is doing this. Some say it's like you say the water in the atmosphere. We'll call it like that. Don't think it's a sphere, but they call it in the heater. I prefer call the atmosphere the heater. I think it's a more appropriate love name than that's it. Appropriate. I have enough of the hate. Appropriate love. Sound better. So yeah. So I think it's really has to do with maybe the water in the heater,
Or just its orientation in your Taurus field. Maybe that's a magnifying field, and your giant Taurus field is like your whole. And then when it goes there on the setting point of the donut, maybe that's like a magnifying part of the donut, and it just expands its.
That's it. Now that's it. Do you think it does maybe expand? But then if I see it expanding on the horizon, someone sees it overhead and it's the same size as me overhead. So all this, how do we solve that optical illusion of the sun? To me, I don't know. It's creational science, definitely. Maybe I'll never figure it out. Who knows?
I know who could probably have a clearer answer and take on it is David Weiss. He has a bunch of videos, and he's an excellent teacher on that sort of thing.
I'll look at it, but
yeah,
it's definitely puzzling to try to solve that puzzle of the sun, especially that he kind of stand right in front of you, like at call it sunset. Everyone call it sunset. Yeah. We know what we refer to. Sun going away might not be the best, but when it goes into sunset mode, it stands right in front of you, like
huge. Sometimes it's like, whoa! It's like
it's funny too. It'll be sunset is when it goes in the 7th house, and the 7th house is all about pictures, picturesque, balance. It's Libra's house.
Beauty.
It has to do with beauty and taking pictures and romance and stuff, and that's like the classic time. As soon as, and your 7th house is different to my 7th house because it's this Taurus field you're in. It's in my 7th house now at 5 o'clock right now in January. It'll be in the 7th house here. But if you're down in Mexico, it'll be in the 7th house at a different. It's just interesting that it's different. But when the sun goes in the 7th house for where you are, it's very beautiful.
No matter where it's at in your own chart. Yeah.
Just out there. Oh, the sun, it's getting to sunset, say it's completely dark at 6. Well, the sun enters the 7th house at like 4:45 or so, 5. And then it becomes amazingly beautiful when it's in the 7th house.
Yeah.
It's just so funny as it goes through the houses and stuff. And then right above you, it's in the 10th house, which Capricorn rules, and Saturn, which is restrictive, so it appears smaller. And I don't know, just the sun in the house is just something like that.
Yeah, it makes sense. Maybe the other celestial bodies influence the size of it or the way it reacts. Just like my light could affect the way you react. It could
It
create
definitely
a
does.
glitch. Could create a glitch within you, or it
Yeah,
could.
because if you take the sun, for instance, how big and bright it is, when Venus, or any planet for that matter, but we'll say Venus because you can notice Venus in the sky
Yeah,
the most. But when it gets close to the sun, you can't see it anymore because the sun's outshining it. So yeah, it's affecting that. And then when they call it a Kazemi, when they're like right next to each other.
0.17 minutes apart.
Yeah. And then in those moments, there might be some Venetian issues in the general collective, like
Love.
yeah, relationship type issues.
anyway,
Yeah.
very interesting when it comes to fire and the sun and the
Yeah.
light and all that stuff. The frequency it carries also, the sun is very beneficial. I mean, it makes everything grow. So it must have potential to make you grow also. Like if you take that sun internal at the physical level where we are, you start shining that sunlight within. It's very powerful. Like
Yeah, it's really good. It's alkalizing. Saturn's frequency and right.
reviving. It's like la fontaine de jouvence de fontaine de jouvence. Comment on dit ça en anglais? The fountain of youth, I think they call it. The fontaine de jouvence. It's really that. You're gonna be. So it has to do with fire inside. And now I'm gonna bring you into another topic, which is aging. Okay, aging has also to do with fire. Now I want you to extrapolate maybe with astrology or other stuff that you know, because aging, we age in a way that we shouldn't age, okay, because of the food we eat, all the scrap. Look, we live in an abundance. Yeah, abundance of scrap. But that's what I was saying today to my wife. Yeah, there's lots of stuff out there, but it's mostly scrap. So
Yeah.
Even the gas we breathe is not that good right now because we're in the Iron Age. Like this elixir does not have great ratios of like noble gases. It's kind of flat.
exactly. So yeah, aging has to do with also with fire, because aging, the word age, if you age, is because you are in an advanced glycation end product. Okay, so it has to do with glycation. You're cooking on the inside, to put it in clear words. You're cooking on the inside, so cooking has to do with fire. So now, is there a way to tame that cooking inside? Yes, with raw food, probably. But I'm saying on the as when it comes to elements and fire and the sun and
Yeah.
you cooking on the
So
inside. So
something so simple as water, because water puts out fire or takes out the excess heat.
oh yeah, go. Interesting.
Yeah. One of the things that, and it's such common knowledge, drink water, drink water, drink water. Like we go through phases where we just don't drink a lot of water.
Wow.
And then now we're in the phase of drinking more water, and physically we're anti-aging just from drinking more water, along with all the other things, but particularly the water right now.
And we're not talking about water in a can of Monster, right? We're talking about
Yeah, no, like we drink only hydrogen water, distilled hydrogen water.
yeah. That's what I have my hydrogen water bottle too. Now, maybe we can touch that topic another time, the hydrogen and stuff. But the aging process, like you said, I think maybe Nick, you want to extrapolate on that, like the water and the fire. Like it's very interesting too. Yeah. Water put out fire.
Yeah, because fire is good in one essence, but the inverted side of fire would be like inflammation. Is that what we're thinking?
And some people retain water also.
Yeah. Yep. That too.
Yeah.
And then when I hear the word acidic, I think heat and and fire. I don't know if acidity creates heat, but that's just what I feel. And acidity creates aging
Yeah, yeah.
within the body. Yeah.
Like
Breaks things down.
sugar is acid. So we eat a lot of sugar, you'll age fast.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the opposite of it too, which is the amino acids, which are the building blocks. Because Saturn is the acid alchemy of your body, but amino acids build your body, and Saturn and Capricorn are the builder. But then there's the inverted side of Saturn as well, which is corrosion. Coca-Cola, pH 1.
Yeah.
It'll corrode pennies and or whatever. It breaks down things. Breaks down is the opposite. Builds is the opposite as
Mm-hmm.
well, which is weird. And then the sun is fire, but the sun is alkalizing.
Hmm.
And
But
it's just a lot of information.
if you want to reverse that aging process, you better start going natural, exactly, and
Yeah.
drink natural water, like good water, good. But we are in a society where they do not really promote healthy avenues. So we're
No.
all stuck drinking all kinds of nonsense, and we think it's okay. And also, the carbonated water, I don't think it's very good for you to ingest carbonated water, carbonated gas, because you're trying to expel it, as
Or
I
even
heard. So
or
what about that?
even the bottled water.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like people are thinking they're doing good by drinking bottled water, which is, yeah, a little, it's significantly better than like a Monster drink or a Coca-Cola, but it's still in that plastic bottle and it's pulled out, leached out, who knows what sort of chemicals.
no, I want to hear you guys on the water thing, okay? Because I got a few years ago, I did ran some tests on the water because I found it very suspicious, everything they give us. So I bought that little thing with two electrodes, you put in one glass and another one, and the water appears clear. Yeah, it's clear, and it's when it's not electrolyzed, but electrolyzed, the tap water, I don't think anybody would drink that shit. Honestly, no, it's so disgusting. It's a sludge. Okay, I've done the test myself, and I put it into water with 3 ppm, and absolutely clear, a little yellow tint, but nothing like the other one that was transforming into a sludge. Tap water. So,
Wow.
oh yeah, I suggest you go take that. You can buy it on Amazon. It's cheap. It's four electrode, two in one glass, two in another,
Huh.
and it really makes electrolyze the water and makes the all the element come out and the minerals and stuff, and it's really nasty. So if we're drinking that stuff, and I don't think like you say Coca-Cola really cares about really filtering waters and stuff, maybe they do, but I think it's a way also to, it's another illusion, that the water is clear. Yeah, you think it's clear? I'll electrolyze it for you. You're gonna see you're never gonna drink that shit in your life.
I seen a video of that, and they took it and they got like 16 different
Yeah,
good water bottle brands,
yeah.
Fuji, whoever the ones are, everyone. And then they put it in there and they start turning cloudy. Kind of like when you turn the faucet on and it's like hot boiling water, it's like pure white.
Hmm.
Oh,
But
didn't they start turning dark and stuff with the electrodes too? Like
Yeah,
brown
he
and
said
oh
it
yeah,
turned.
brown, yellow, like a sludge,
like
really.
yellow. Yep, they turn yellow right
Oh.
away. And then that's a cool video people can look up.
But now
Electrolyte.
I'm wondering, because they say also that the minerals are good for our bodies in some capacities. So is it really just maybe a hype, or we should drink that sludge? To me, it's not very appealing once you put those electrodes in it. So since that day, I said I never drink tap water again. But then
No.
you go to water that has like 0 ppm. So is that even good for you? That's what I'm saying. Like water should have minerals. If you go in the mountain and drink out of a source, it won't be 0 ppm. Like it's not. It's from nature, so there is minerals come from the ground. So are
Mhm.
they putting artificial minerals in the water? Maybe that's why it turns like that. Or I've never done the test with the source water from a
Right.
mountain, but it would be interesting to make the test with that kind of water.
Yeah, from my understanding is, obviously tap water has additive chemicals to it, chlorine to clean it because they're just basically recycling the sewer water.
Yeah. Oh,
And then a lot of places add
yeah.
fluoride. But then as far as like your fresh spring water, yeah, it's mineral rich, which I mean, we might be able to absorb some of those minerals, but then a lot of them we can absorb. And I know when I drink well water, I get these little like calcium deposits, just like little whiteheads on my skin from excess calcium from the well water that my body can't process.
If they're larger than 25 nanometers, the mineral won't be absorbed, and they also need to have the correct charge to it too. I think the ionic charge.
Mm.
So it's not that simple, and a lot of the groundwater is actually tainted too from toxic world, farmland, and all the rivers and underground rivers, and there's underground waterways, and they must connect with the oceans. Everything's connected, and even if you take your toxic chemical tar roads and think of all those across America, and the rain goes over them and then washes in a ditch, and those sink down into the underwater aquifer river systems and go to all the rivers, and then plus all the farmers draining all their chemicals into it and mixing with it, and then you got all the chemical plants and stuff adding to it too. So I don't know. Then you just think that the water's tainted, and they say it's deuterium depleted. It's not even real water, the best water. They depleted, I think it's deuterium out of the water, which is some noble element that should be in the groundwater. I don't know, because we're in the Iron Age. Everything is leaving now, but everything is lower, low down.
Dirty.
Not noble, magical, mystical. Like you even see these old books, and they're real authentic old books, and I'll show you the animals from the Golden Ages and Copper Ages. Pegasus is the real, and all these things, and fairies and stuff. The animals we have here now in the Iron Age, they all murder each other all day long. They're out there, everyone's scared. In the Golden Ages, they were majestic, benevolent creatures. They didn't even adopt these murderous teeth. From what I understand, what I'm picking up, and just my mind's in the collective Akashic records throughout all times, and I see something. Oh, that sounds true. I think it is.
And it's interesting. That's one topic I wanted to bring up. Maybe we'll just approach it for today. But animals and astrology and the way they behave today also. Like I'm sure once the earth was in a golden age where everyone was enlightened, taking care of their bodies and live a very divine orientated mission life to take care of this plane and not destroy it like we destroy ourselves. Maybe the animals also were more friendly with each other, like lions and stuff. Like now you see a lot of freaking murders. I know they have to eat. It's the jungle. It's like they're animals. They live in the wild. It's survival. They're on a survival mode constantly. So it's a different thing. But they have moment of relaxation too. If you look at lions, they like to bask in the sun and stuff. And lions now is there animals exactly that are more towards the sun, like the lion. If I take the lion loves the sunset and the sun and just tigers and but then you have creatures that live underground like snakes and skunks, and skunk come out only at night. What is that? Like most of the time you will see them at night. And why do these skank so much? And what is that thing inside them? Like because the skunk is probably the less prey animal owner. Like it's the one with the best defense system of all. They piss and they all go away. So and it smells so strong. So and how do animals come to know that? Whoops, I'm not going near that. It smells like they must have an internal sense of reality like us. Because I know dogs will go after skunkla and stuff because they're fearless, but most animals will like, oh, it's a skunk. I'm getting far. I'm not gonna eat that. So
Yeah.
we're just in some crazy digital code realm, and the animals are just like codes playing out in this algorithm, and we just think of the animals for animals, but really it's just this part of the code of the realm. And we're in like a really buggy, glitchy software right now. We're hitting our updates. As soon as Pluto went in Aquarius, I think that's like the final huge movement into Aquarius. That is massive. Pluto is generational. It stays in the signs for like the longest. It's going to be in Aquarius for like 20 years. So yeah, it's just this. I don't know. It's kind of a funny way to look at it, but yeah, it's all energy. Everything's just energy and
Everything's
code.
energy, and the animals, like the sun is brightening in my face. You might not see me much. I'm in the light, but you know what I told my wife before? I said, "Me, no problem. I love being blinded by the light. So
Mhm.
bring it, the sun. I'm not. I don't want to be in darkness no more. So blind by the light is good. But the animals, what I was gonna say is there a way that exactly like when they see a human being appear in front of them, like any animal should see us as the creator, like very divine, but they see us as just another prey, or like, but there's other animals like the
Mhm.
dog will look up to human, will do everything for humans, but then a lion will show up or a bear, he will not hesitate 1 second to probably jump on me. So,
Yeah, I think it's
what
just
is that behavior that they exhibit? The violent behavior towards human, like sharks and stuff that eat human, and when they should have already a sense, maybe because we're too incoherent, they feel it. So let's get rid of that. Nature takes care of nature, and
mm,
animals are doing a sweep towards humanity to maybe get rid of bad vibration. Maybe that's what it is, but also I think there's something much uh, deeper that they feel about us. That's what I'm saying.
oh yeah, they're definitely like more instinctual than most humans.
Yeah,
Yeah, they can feel it. And then as far as like dogs and the cats not generally attacking people, I mean, you do hear of that, but it's not often. But I think it just comes down to domestication, and we have bred them to love us or to
yeah,
trust us.
yeah. And
Yeah.
how does that transfer also from generation to generation towards how does a dog know, like does a dog knows that she's a female or she's a male? Does it that do they have a sense of awareness that they are dogs, or that they are, do they feel sentient being just like we do when we're on, because they're perfectly coherent with their beings, with who they are. So maybe inside, like it's hard to understand how a dog feel. I'm not a dog. I have never been inside the head of a dog, and I will never be. But is there like some kind of intuition we can have maybe about it?
It seems like the humans are specifically for the conscious awareness. Um, you know what I mean? Because Aquarius is the only sign in the zodiac that's a human, and Aquarius is all about consciousness. So humans specifically can see themselves in a
And
more way.
Aquarius is the only human representation. Also in that zodiac, it's all animals, no?
Virgo as well as a human, the Virgin.
Gemini
So
too.
we have the Virgin and Aquarius, the man and the woman, but all the rest is animals. Scorpio, Cancer,
Libra is the
bird.
a physical object, the scales.
And then Gemini is
That one's skipping my mind for
it's
some
not.
reason.
It's just
Libra, does it have to do with the sun? Like, is that why? Like the sun go up and down?
Um,
Libra has to do with the no?
it has to do with like the plane of inertia or something like that, and it's constantly balancing out. It wants to stay in balance, which is, I don't know if it has
Okay.
so much to do with the sun itself.
well, yeah, and Libra means pounds. That's what LBS means. People say Libra all day long. Astrology is really in every single day. Every time something
You
the
weigh.
pounds, what does it weigh? How many pounds does it weigh? How many Libras? And then in books too, it's Libra. They're called Libras in its library, and Librans are like air sign, and they read books like crazy. They got libraries. They're librarians, and then it means weights too, which is interesting. Reading and weight must be the same.
Wow, that's powerful. Anyway, we're gonna finish this one there for today, and we'll keep on next Saturday again if you're up for it. Definitely, because
Yeah.
maybe we'll go a bit deeper with animals and astrology and how uh, also the animals behave is very interesting in their behavior because I think our behavior is directly linked to above what's going on, like alignment and stuff, and light,
Mhm.
the sun, and the sunshine. No, it's no one can argue. Look at my face. No, I'm blinded by the light again. But
Mhm.
yeah, the sun shine light. Like all this, we can bring it into our physical body. Also, the light, the darkness, the bear within you, the lion. Like we all often refer to as some animals are very majestic, and I would like to approach that. And with astrology, what do they signify, or what's their signification in the in the big picture? Like eagles, eagles are soar above the cloud when there's a storm, and we should all
Mhm.
be above the storm, not in the storm of life. And but eagles fly alone. Often pigeons flock together, so pigeons
Mhm.
stay in the rain. So stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it would be interesting to look at animals and astrology and us
Yeah.
also. They say we are animals, just we cannot be caged, and we accept to be caged. So that's really weird. Also, very incoherent. But me, don't talk to me about cage. Anyway, guys, large up, very very interesting, and there's a few points that really come to me, and especially when you said raise the fire within, bring that fire up, and the fire will rise, and it will rise to your head. And that's what you got to put on fire. It's your head, it's your brain, it's your mouth, and in a good way, in a positive way. So it's very relevant, Nick, what you have given Crystal. Also, I really enjoy those talk because it's full joy for me. I'm learning every time I come here. That's the purpose of this show anyway. It's not to brag or to. I'm very humble and I have a lot to learn. So today I've learned. I'm gonna go now right upstairs, see my wife, and tell her all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, no. So very interesting, very enlightening, and I really truly appreciate love your full presence and power here, because you don't
Mhm.
show up half, you show up full, and I can feel it. So much love every time. Large up, everyone. Also, you want to add something maybe before we close this one?
Yeah.
Just thanks. It's a good time when our energy gets together. The information comes through me nice and clear, and it's fun.
Yeah.
I,
Always appreciate the opportunity to share.
I see you're very like it takes us a little bit to warm up for sure, like the fire. Then that's what also you see physically. Like we're warming up, and then after half an hour, boom, we're on fire. Like
Uh-huh.
that's what it is, really. It is. So it's wonderful. It's I feel it physically, the fire, and it's crazy the energy I feel right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, big time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Great.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna yeah, it's I feel truly blessed and highly favored and in bliss, and the emotions are galactic every time I do these talks and reach to others also, because we need each other. And
Mm.
I need you guys. I need a whole bunch of good teachers around me, so I evolve and I keep evolving. So large up, and that's it. I'm gonna log off, put the
Okay.
and again the log in the fire. So everything today was really about fire and how to bring up that fire inside. And Nick have gave again. He was on fire again. That's what you said last time. Nick was on fire. Well, we is really on fire today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
good. So good.
that's it. We're
Yeah.
out.
Until next time.
Until next time, and that's it. Boom.
All right.
See ya.
Thank you. See you.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya, everyone watching now.